Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another late night here on the East Coast. How y'all doing? Hopefully pretty good. Well, I gotta say, last night was a little bit rough. Sat down for quite a bit, and when we actually got up, it was a little bit painful, but not too bad. But the cool thing is, hey, Kerbal Space Program, super hyped, because I'm really sorry to everyone who showed up last night and we got to troubleshoot a whole bunch of mods. I had fun, because I have fun solving puzzles, but certainly wasn't the stream I was hoping for. So we're just doing vanilla now. It's, fixed all that. We're going on moderate. Yeah. Going on moderate here. We have the plasma blackout, require signal for control, and the Kerbal G-force limits. I think that's pretty cool. Nice. Ready to watch more rockets explode? Hey, Foxy. Well, I'm hoping not too bad. Vanilla Ice. What's up, Origami? But yeah, we are good. So this is vanilla. It's chill. That means I should know most of the stuff. Most of it, at least for the early game. So again, quick rundown. We did this yesterday, but we're trying to get space. We're trying to go check stuff out. If we go to our tracking station here, we're going to be taking missions, but our initial goal is to try and get to the Mun, which is sort of the equivalent of the moon, right, for Earth. A day in Kerbin is, I believe, 6 hours real time. Now, you don't play the game in real time because you can speed it up. But the point is that, the days go much faster on Kerbin, so that's something to keep in mind. Let's go grab some missions here. You can see we have a lot less missions without the mods, but that's alright. So we just have to launch our first vessel. Easy peasy. We might even be able to do this. And, oh, here we go. We can gather some scientific data as well. Nice. And, oh yeah, I never used this building. For the astronauts, I do like to rename people. The only downside is, I've mentioned, it used to be that names were tied in directly to their class and their stats. I don't know how true that is now. Certain classes are a lot more useful than others, pilots being extremely useful. But I think what we're going to do, to rename someone, you do have to edit the files for the save. So I think what we're going to do is just a really quick, do a save right now. Quick save, eh? Sure. I'm going to go back to the menu. We're going to go ahead and throw on our just relaxing, calming picture here, and I'm just going to go edit that text file super quickly. And then we'll have our renamed Kerbins. Now eventually we will need more Kerbins. And I do like to play the game kind of Iron Man. If I make if it's just like a really quick mistake, like a part doesn't work the way I think it did, same thing like I do for most games, right? Like if we're doing something sciencey, or if it was sort of like a mechanical oddness, I'll reset that usually. But if it's, a mistake on my part, or we don't make it back, or we crash into the moon, then that Kerbin is dead. That's usually how I go about it. And I wish I could have set this up ahead of time, but you can't because you have to create save first. And I apologize for that, but it doesn't take me too long. Pretty quick at this stuff. I could have been faster if I had the folder open, but I just turned the computer on, so. Okay. In there, got my late night video, just need my text document. Okay. Here we go. It looks like names are not tied to your class anymore, so that's pretty cool. Certainly exciting. right. Almost done, guys. I'm just actually going ahead and assigning a few extra names just so we have it done sort of ahead of time. I think that's sort of a good idea, because we will eventually be purchasing more of these guys. Alright, so that's all done. Fingers crossed, anyway. Click our load button. We'll get back to it. How are we looking? They have stupidity levels? Absolutely. So there's... Hey, it did work. Cool. And these guys got renamed? Yes. Perfection. I didn't rename all of them, but I renamed a couple that we'll probably buy at some point. So, your stats are as such. You have a G-Force endurance, which is pretty cool. That's a new thing. I've never played with that mechanic, so it is going to make the game a little bit more difficult. But G-Force is sort of gravitational force, right? It's the idea of if you're going like on a roller coaster, you know, especially around corners. If you're going a certain speed, the effect of defying gravity, I suppose, the effect of you know, you hitting gravity, kind of a little bit weird to explain, but I think a lot of people have sort of a general grasp of the idea of a G-force tolerance. If not, check out what real astronauts have to do. They get put in like a little sling and they get spun around to build that. Very cool. You also have courage and stupidity. Now, courage is, I mean, that's fairly obvious, right? That's bravery. That's things are going bad, but you're not panicking. Stupidity is a bad stat unless it's very high, in which case it's kind of a good stat, because the higher your stupidity is, the less likely a Kerbal is to realize he's actually in danger. So that's a good thing. So Zelphus, thankfully, is a little bit oblivious to the worst things that could possibly happen. I'm not sure. Were these stats the same? They might have changed. Either way, looking pretty good. So we'll get our first rocket going. Of course, we'll get the science nuke. That was our classic from yesterday. It's just a little crappy rocket with an engine. Is the game a lot louder today? Is that loud for you guys too? Maybe it's just me. Or maybe when I reinstalled it, it made the audio a lot louder. Okay, get all the important stuff on. We should start with a parachute, I think. Here's one. And we got our mystery container, which is our first bit of science. Is that everything? Yeah, that looks pretty good. I can turn down the volume if it is too loud. We'll just double check though. Because you never know, right? You never know when you reinstall a game what the audio levels are going to end up at. What the, I mean, even like the graphics settings. I don't know if that changes too much. It looks fine. It looks fine. Because the rest of the game is extremely quiet, or in fact has no noise at all, depending where you are. So it looks like Mr. Origami is going to be our first pilot here. Good luck. Oh, in fact, it's not going to end well for you either. Really quickly, let's revert. Let's just pull you back to the vehicle assembly. I forgot to fix this bad boy up, Origami. You might have died. So down here is stages. The idea behind this is every time you hit the spacebar, you activate the next stage. Very important for complicated rockets. Right now, it doesn't really matter. Right now, sort of the basic idea is stage 1, we are launching the rocket. We are activating this booster down here. It's going to fire off and we're going to, ascend. In stage 2 is the parachute comes out. The importance to not having that in the same stage, If I do this, then the rocket launches and the parachute flies out at the start, which, as you can imagine, would be bad. So, with our 2 stages, it's kind of weird because you sort of stage up in descending order. So stage 0 being your final stage. Some people that might make sense. And we're going to go ahead and limit the thrust here and the fuel. We don't actually want to go too high. We don't need to. We just need to do a little test flight. We're worried about our poor little origami. We don't want him launching off in the space. We won't reach space right now, but we certainly don't want him launching any further than we know our parachute can handle. We'll do a little bit of sciencey here. Observe the mystery goo. The goo doesn't seem to be doing much right now. Well, that's fair. It's reasonable. We'll get a crew report. What do you think of the launch pad, Origami? Probably not too much. All right. Well, here we go. We have liftoff. I forgot to turn on the SAS, which I'm sure Origami's already upset about, but yes! The nuke is off, and looking pretty good, actually. And once we start descending, we'll be able to tell because speed is going to go up and then down. So we're now falling. This right here is our current height, our altitude. SAS every time. Yeah, I'm really bad for it. You actually want to turn SAS off when you're falling, because otherwise your pilot's going to try and keep the rocket facing down, which is a bad idea. What are you seeing, Origami? Remember, you're our first person into the air. Not much. Like, look at his little controls, his tiny little hands, his water, perhaps alcohol. One of those is a pea jar, I think. But this is it. This is all we can see right now. It's such a sad and limited view of the goings-on. I always forget how to leave this screen. There's a button for it. I forget what it is, though. Oops. That's fine. We'll be landing soon, anyway. What is the button for leaving this? Is it backspace? No, that resets camera. Delete. Oh, that's stage or docking mode. I think we're about to land. Yeah, we did. Nice. We won. Did we complete our 2 contracts? Let's see. Yes, and yes. Excellent. And we've broken some world milestones. So these are like global achievements, if you will. And they will attract attention to us. So we've broken the speed records of 25 meters a second. Launched our first vessel. We've broken a speed record of 80 meters a second. We've got the 500 meters of altitude, and we've returned to the surface without dying. Cool. I'm gonna have to find out what the button is to go back outside, camera-wise. Either way, we can recover the science nuke here. Got a bunch of science, which is excellent. Recovery of a vessel that survived a flight. Very nice. And we got some of our money back. So obviously you're not going to get your whole money back with rockets. So balancing our money is going to be very important, especially on the harder difficulty that we're on now. Because sure, right now we're like all of our parts are reusable, except we burned all that fuel. So the fuel we can't get back. But later on we're going to be like losing parts essentially. Because we're going to be going up with multiple engines and things of fuel and dropping them off into the atmosphere and having them burn up. So we'll see. And hey, Origami gained 1 XP. Not quite enough. The XP gain system is very weird in this game. So there's certain XP requirements for each level, which makes sense. But doing actions don't gain you XP. There's basically like personal achievements, okay? So we got 1 XP, I believe, for just launching a rocket. That's not enough for the next level. But like orbiting Kerbin, that will be some experience. Reaching the outer atmosphere, that will be some experience. going to the Mun, orbiting it and landing on it, that's more experience. And at first you're like, well, that makes sense. But the interesting thing about it is, if I have a Kerbal who does not go to the Mun, so let's say we go to the Mun with a couple guys, they level up, and then I take another Kerbal and I head somewhere else, we still need to go to the Mun with that Kerbal for the Mun experience. Now, we probably won't worry about grinding their levels too much, but it is kind of a cool thing. And yeah. Let's see, what new contracts can we get? Take a crew report in flight below 18,000 meters near sector P2SZ. Well, we don't know where that is. We can find out. We got to delete all this stuff. But P2SZ should show up on the map. Right, so they want us to fly over here, actually. Which is really close to us. It's just the island airfield. I want us to just fly over here below 18 kilometers and get a crew report. Now, we're probably not going to worry about that until we get planes. I'm not good at planes in this game. That's one thing I've no concept of, really. I struggle with it a lot. Oh, the flagpole. I didn't know you could change that, actually. That's cool. Let's head over to R&D. We have a little bit of science. You can learn about basic rockets or engineering. Engineering is going to get me more science, which means I can, you know, get more science, so I can go up through this tech tree. We'll get basic rockets as well. That's fine. How hard can rocket science be anyway? Now, that's funny. There's a lot of really funny tooltips in this game, but I'm not going to be reading them because there's tons of them. So, you know, like manufacturer found lying by the side of the road. So the cool thing is, with our difficulty, we actually have to sort of prototype parts. So researching a tree is not enough to get it. We also need to purchase the parts. So right now we do want to buy this better fuel booster. Eventually we will want the swivel engine, but not just yet. Let's go buy that guy. Want to buy our too hot thermometer. Definitely want to buy a decoupler. And which is the better of these antennas? They look about the same, actually. One's a lot bigger. Okay. We'll just get one of those. Excellent. So, what was our next mission? Let's see. Okay, so we have to haul a parachute into flight. We have to test out the parachute. Now, these missions are, like, annoying. The problem with the test out things missions is, like, they have very specific requirements you have to complete at the same time. So with this, we have to get a parachute between 4,000 and 9,000 meters. And we have to be going between 0 and 200 meters a second. Now, that's not too bad. You see, we get an advance payment, completion payment, reputation, and science. And then we can also sort of fail and decline and lose stuff. Now, that's not too bad. The problem's going to be, though, test a flea solid booster. I think we'll do that one, yeah. So we've already used that guy. But sorry, the problem is, like, eventually it's going to get really finicky getting a part to a certain height at a certain speed, because it's not just about going as fast as possible. It's about reaching a certain height. Now, we only made it to 10,000 with this booster. So let's, pardon me, let's double our fuel here. That should, in theory, get us to 18,000, which I believe we need. 18,000? Oh, only 4,000 to 9,000. So no, we're okay. I'll leave it here. Got our parachute. Got our little flea booster. Excellent. Should be good. We're just gonna throw a little more science on and double check. Is this the? Okay, thank goodness we have the baby. The coupler now. The last game we were playing, we did not have the baby decoupler. It was upsetting to me. We'll get a little thermometer so we can take some sort of heat readings. See what things are like, as you do. Looks good. You're halfway there, Origami. Maybe we'll give Fox a little test out here. Actually, we're doing science. We'll have Rudy do it. He can't SAS very well, so we'll see how bad that ends up. But that's okay. I'm actually really overheating in the house right now. It's kind of annoying. There you go, see? We have no operational SAS and no pilots aboard. So we cannot SAS with Rudy. But that's okay. Excellent. Keep the experiment. Now, one thing you can do with a scientist is we can EVA here. And we can take this data. So because Rudy is a scientist, he can come outside and he can take data from these instruments, and then he can put it inside, which means that we can do multiple reports, multiple science scans in the same time, essentially, like in one trip, without having to come all the way back home, which is pretty cool. So we'll keep that experiment, and let's go ahead and store this. Excellent. Then if you want to hop back inside for me, Rudy, that'd be excellent. And again, I can't SAS, so fingers crossed here, right? What? Performed an EVA test at home. Excellent. I mean, that seemed a little bit buggy. Okay. Do your best. Hold it steady. Hold it steady. Well, we only made it to 1,000. I thought we made it to 10,000. My bad. Okay, so we've tested this guy. Great. And we've tested our parachute, which is also great. Speaking of, let's go ahead and deploy that parachute. And hope Rudy can pull the ship around. Get the nose up a bit here. That'd be good. Hey, Rudy broke the land distance record of 1,000 meters. Or 1 kilometer, if you prefer. And we hope he doesn't die. Yeah, he looked a little scared there, actually. He was like, I don't feel too good about this, actually. So let's see. Now that we're flying, can we take any new data? Yes, we can. We're flying over its surface, technically. Excellent. What do you think, Rudy? Do you want to pop out and take an EVA? Oh, no, we can't. Oh, well. And we're just going to speed up time a little bit here. So we get close to the ground. Now, it should be noted, your altitude here, 1 is, like you don't touch ground at 0. 0 is sea level. So we're probably, like, 100... well, actually, less than that. It looks like 50 meters above sea level or something. Doesn't he have low stupidity? That's right, yeah. He is more aware of the danger. I mean, Rudy actually just does not... Oh, okay, he's feeling a little better now. He just waved at us. That's excellent. I should click Space Center. I'm bad for that. I'll misclick Tracking Station pretty much every time. But Rudy's gone. Got us a lot of science. Where the heck is he? There he is. He really flew out there, huh? Tons of science here. We got a bunch of money now. 1 XP for Rudy for launching a rocket, which is great. Turns out I should have brought more water with me. Sorry. I got sick, actually, of course. I've got my back thing. I've got sick now. I think Kaylin is sick as well. And then we went to visit her family today. Indoor taxes, which is always fun. And her family have some issues, but this is not the first time we've had a bed bug scare from them. So I don't know. We're hoping we didn't contract bed bugs because they didn't know they had it apparently, and they told us after we got home. So we're just double checking. Right now it looks okay, but just always a little bit frustrating. The service bay is really cool. I would like that at some point. Do we want to go even higher? Maybe. Do we want stability? Maybe. Or maybe just some radiator panels. That's pretty useful. Landing struts are great. We're probably going to head this way here. Again, just sort of get more science. And the more science you get, the more science you can get. Which makes sense, right? It's one of those, you know, you need money to make money. Same way, you just sort of want to snowball your science a little early. Because then you don't have to do trivial, you know, reports later on. We're going to buy a little heat shield. Don't need the big one right now. Are they the... yeah, that's much bigger. I don't think we'll need the radiator panel, but let's buy it just to play it safe. We do want the landing strut. Now, these are cool. These are actually parachutes that can be mounted on your side. And the service bay for sure we want. I'll show you what he does in a second, but he's incredibly useful. So drogue chute is small, deploys high up, certainly not enough to stop you smashing into the ground on its own, but slows the craft before deployment of your main chute. It's pretty useful. Well, let's buy a drogue chute, maybe. I'm not sure if we'll use it just yet, but it's a handy thing to have, right? We only have 9 science left, so we can't get anything, which is cool. Okay, so this is weird. They want me to test the decoupler after we've splashed down. So they want me to land in the water and then decouple and see what happens. Interesting. All a heat shield into flight. Is this the one we bought? Here we go. Test the swivel engine. This one's just test our bigger solid fuel engine, so we'll go with that guy. And escape the atmosphere. How high is that? 70,000 meters. Do you think we could reach 70,000 meters? It's possible. It's possible. We already have 2 contracts. What's our other one? Oh, we never completed our Mark 16 parachute. Right, because we never got the 4,000 meters. Well, we'll certainly be able to do that now. We're just going to need our bigger engine. Alright, time to get the old Mark 3. Oh, sorry. Misclick. There we go. So, I want to show you actually. Here's our service bay. It's very cool. We're going to be using this sort of beginning setup for a while. So what I want to do is sort of set it up so we can just use the beginning parts of it. We don't have to remake it every time. So to do that, we're going to want our little baby heat shield. He's really freaking small. Oh. Okay. That's our heat shield here. And our decoupler. That's a little buggy the way that sits. Weird. Okay. There we go. Got our decoupler. So the cool thing about this guy's service bay is we can open it, and then inside we can put our sort of our little science projects, right? Theory. Yeah. Just gotta remember how to rotate this. Here we go. Ah, there. Perfect. Get our little mystery goo in there. We got our little thermometer, and we have a barometer as well, actually. Here she is. Perfect. We'll leave room for something else. I'm not sure if there's more to get. But you can see now, we have these all safely inside. Right now that doesn't matter, but if we're crashing, we could end up destroying the equipment, and then we don't get the research back, which is kind of a little bit annoying, right? So let's try our big engine. He's pretty hefty, I like it. And don't really need an antenna, but I guess it can't hurt, right? Wonder if we could put it inside. That's a bit janky. We'll leave the antenna off for just right now. Just need my fins. I think you want the fins close to the center of gravity, if I remember correctly. Or the center of mass, sorry. I think that's where they're most effective. A little closer to that. Excellent. And this is, of course, the Mark III. This one we should be able to use for a little bit. So we've got full thrust, full fuel. We'll see if that gets us far enough. And who are we going to take out this time? Why don't we take out, oh, I don't know, Foxy. I think we're going to need a pilot for this one because we're going to be going quite fast. Hopefully you don't die. Fingers crossed, right? If you do, it happens, you know? Might be. Alright. Got our staging. So what's going to happen is this guy launches. And this is our decouple. So at some point, we'll be able to separate the engine from the rest of the body. Now, do we want to do that? In this case, no. In this case, we're going to keep the... okay, sorry. We're going to keep the decouple at the end. Because we want to try and land with all this, if possible, to recover it. But for the future, we are going to be doing a lot of decoupling. Nuke the world, working on it. We have our SAS going. Here's my missions. Okay. So we have to be flying at 4,000 to 9,000 meters at a speed of 0 to 200 meters a second. Should be doable. We actually... Now you can see this is what I was talking about. I think we're going to be going way too fast when we reach this height. Who knows though, we might slow down a bit. We're going to run out of fuel eventually. So we just need to hope that we run out of fuel. And slow down a lot. Because you can see we're going a kilometer a second. 1,000... Oh, our fins are taking a little bit of damage there. Oh, we're actually... like, really getting high. We're breaching, like, the outer layers of the atmosphere. Are we going to touch space? Huh, cool. Let's see. Maybe we touch space. We're still going. I think we are. I think Fox is going to reach outer space. Definitely not going to be able to test our parachute the way we need to, but that's okay. If we can get out of the atmosphere, I should be able to get good science. A little further, I think it's 50,000 we need. Bingo. Have we done it? Yeah, there you go. The goose seems to be getting very cold now. Log the temperature. Turns out, upper atmosphere, it's cold. Who knew? What about the pressure here? What the heck, guys? There's pressure changes. It's different than down below. Are you going to make space? No, there's no way. There's no way. Technically, we are in orbit. If we go to the map, you can actually see. We have obtained an orbit, and we're going to be landing in the water. Which is kind of cool. Good job, Fox. Now to test that parachute on the way down, if you don't mind. What do you see? Give me a crew report from here, actually. Nice. Are you... Oh, you're actually so close to making it outer space. You might just. Oh, it's going to be close. Are you going to hit full-blown space? No, I think we're starting to descend now. Easy way to check. Your apoapsis is your highest point. Sort of. You know, the periapsis is your lowest point in theory, but that stops working when you operate on a 3-dimensional plane, if you know what I mean. Or a 4-dimensional plane, I suppose, in some ways. But you did it, Fox. You were so close to actual space, but you did so well. Whether you survive, wow, look at you. You're so happy. Man, the question is, do you survive, and do you get to test out your parachute? Because that was the whole thing. We sent you out here to try a parachute at low altitude. But I mean, you kind of went above and beyond. Maybe a little bit. And we're going to be coming down really fast. Really fast. When does our parachute work at? 1,000 altitude? Why don't we just go ahead and say, can you turn on at 2,000 altitude? We really need to slow down here. I'm a little spooked. Because pretty soon we're going to be dropping at about a kilometer a second. Or 1,000 meters a second. Which is just under half a mile. So, you know, every second. That's pretty fast. It's bad news bears, essentially. Actually, I wonder if we can get this to deploy much sooner, so that we might be able to... No, there's no way we get this parachute contract this time. That's okay. We'll just worry about getting Fox out of here alive. That'll be the big one. So you can see our parachute's red right now. We're back in the atmosphere. See that we're burning a little bit. The parachute's red because we're not in the right sort of an environment for it. Maybe we're going too fast. It's definitely possible. Maybe mostly we're just going too fast, I think. It's going a lot too fast. It was very fast, turns out. Turns out it was very fast. I don't know if you tested the parachute properly. You know, that could be a thing. I think what might have happened there, though, is I kind of want to do a retest of that. Because what I think happened is because the ship was facing downwards, like the chute would not deploy. So if we go to the vehicle assembly, I wanna try the exact same launch. You can see here the canopy max rotation rate. What the fuck? I want to try that anyway, and see if it is a case of not being able to like come out sideways, essentially. Yeah, so what we're going to do, we're just going to do the exact same launch. All the same, we're just going to max the speed. Oh, I forgot the SAS. This is actually better for us. It's better that we go at an angle, because we're not going to go quite as high, in theory. Which is a little annoying, because I might not be able to test my stuff then, the way I wanted to. Observe the mystery goo. Log that temperature. And log the pressure data. Close this back up. Get a crew report. Have some fuel to slow down your descent. Yeah, that's actually a really good idea, Origami. It's unfortunately not something we can currently do. The reason for that is we don't have... there we go. We don't have any liquid fuel boosters yet. Hey, Shames, what's up? Oh, that's incredible. Pokemon theme and Kerbal Space Program. Just excellent. Can you, maybe calm down with the spinning. Just a titch there, Foxy. Just a little. And try and angle this way a bit. We're going to see if we can get your chute to deploy properly this time. So it may... It does sort of seem to be speed related, I think, is the issue. Curiously, it's not telling us why. But I think it is because of the speed. It didn't seem to get damaged. Now, that's okay. So how do we... Obviously, the easy way of preventing the speed from happening like that would simply be to not go as high, right? That makes a lot of sense. And we can do that by limiting our thrust. But the other thing is we can throw those new drug chutes we got on. I think we bought them anyway. Yeah, so they're gonna come out sideways and slow us down just a little bit. Just a little bit. So we'll see how these work out for us. You know what? I bet you if we separated, that would have been okay, actually. I want to try that again. I want to see if we do our separation here, if that will be fine. Yeah, no, it could very well be the speed origami, but we're also very sorry, aerodynamic, which means we're gonna lean towards pointing downwards because we're sort of like a conical shape, right? So I do want to try that actually. Let's angle you a little bit here so you have a slightly better chance of survival. I'm gonna max speed again, and we are gonna do our decouple. I was hoping to save money, but what can you do, right? Or you could sort of... I mean, now you're just launching yourself to China, which, I mean, whatever. Not... No, I gotta revert this, because I want it to be going more straight so I can test it out again. Oh, we'll try the drogue chutes later, Shames. Don't you worry about that. And we have our thrust on half this time, don't we? I wonder actually if we're gonna get further with half the thrust or not. Doesn't appear so, no. Okay. Sorry, Fox, we have to practice murdering you a little bit more just because I want to see how this works, you know what I mean? I want to have a good understanding of recovery before we get to the crazy missions where I am just going to leave people to die. You know? Oh, SAS. Okay, we have a little angle. It's kind of perfect, actually. You do want a titch of an angle. Okay. So you max altitude. Now this is interesting to me, Shames. I don't know how versed in Kerbal Space Program you are. I played a whole bunch when the game only had sandbox. I didn't get very far. I just had a lot of fun building rockets. And I played a little bit when they did career mode. And I got to the Mun, and I had a lot of fun getting to the Mun, and I landed on it. And I felt very good. And then it's been a long time since I played, so they've changed a lot. And I'm wondering, sort of, are parachutes weaker now? Because it does feel like that. I have done, like I had some mods, so I got rid of all the mods, and I did a clean restall and everything. It does actually feel like parachutes are not as strong as they used to be. We're definitely going to do the test at some point to see whether or not it is more efficient to have our rockets burning slower, essentially. So if you're faster than 300 meters a second in deep atmosphere, you fight against air. Makes a lot of sense. Yep. So what we're going to do here, we're going to point this way. And we're going to do our decouple. So say goodbye to all this stuff. Excellent. Silver heat shield. Perfection. We'll see if Fox can... Something like this should be our angle of re-entry. Oh, you can actually see it right there, I believe. Which is super nice. We're not going to follow that completely, though. Maybe we should. Like this? I'm going to keep it like that. That's fine. So let's see if we would have survived doing this. Now, when I played Kerbal Space Program like years ago, I've never had to use stroke shoots. I've only ever had to use either the Mark 16 or the upgraded version of that, the big boy. So I'm very curious to see. Like, I'm happy if they change mechanics because I do like relearning stuff, but you know what I mean. Okay, well this didn't launch yet. But we're not pointing down because we're not anywhere near as aerodynamic as we were before. Yellow one looks like a spaceship. Galactica. Okay, so this does work. Okay, excellent. So it was probably just a combination of mass, angle, and speed. Because you notice, because we were lighter, we sort of got caught and sort of almost burned away a lot of our speed coming back down in the atmosphere, which is super cool. So hey, Fox can live. That's quite nice. Also be very careful when you turn the time up because the game does very bad things. You can see it goes red, not to say it's fast, but to say like, oh, you're gonna die for doing that. So we really should have put our altitude back to sort of 1500. I think we would have been just fine. But this is good. Good to know. We've learned a lot. And it's always good to like experiment early, make informed decisions, so later on you're not like, you know what I mean? That said, I definitely did that a little too high up. Oh boy. Yeah, unfortunately we can't EVA just yet. Jet your heat shield? Why is that? Now the heat shield... Oh, you can do that actually. Well, here's the question. What is the... I can't see the stats right now. But does the service bay have a higher impact resistance than the heat shield? Hard to say. I would have to check. I always thought the heat shield would have a fairly hard resistance, so I sort of used it as the bottom. I've never jettisoned it before. I didn't even know you could do that. Very cool that you can, of course. But yeah, so where have you landed, Fox? Pretty far away from our home base. Launch there? We're all the way over here, jeez. I wish the game had more music. Like, it feels so weird that, like, half the time you have no music and half the time you have really good music. You know what I mean? And the sound effects are, like, randomly super loud. Like those birds. I don't know. But I just don't want to risk losing our service bay, shames, with everything inside. So we're gonna take the rough landing for right now. See how she goes. And you can see, it looks like in this area we're much higher above sea level, because we're not landing on 0. And over at the Kerbal Space Program, it was 50 meters above sea level. But here, 886. And that's a lot to keep in mind, right? Because on the Mun, there's no ocean to sort of gauge where something is. It's just whatever they consider sea level there. But good job, Fox, you lived. And you've seen space, the first person too, actually. Although you're still sort of within the grasp of the outer atmosphere. Tons of science, all the good stuff. We still haven't tested our parachute, unfortunately. He survived, yeah. Let's check this out real quick. Where is she? Well, here's... Okay, I saw it. There's our service bay. Tolerance, 14 meters a second impact. Okay, so that's pretty hefty. What do we have here? Heat shield, 9 meters a second. Okay, so it is better to jettison the heat shield. You're more likely to not damage things. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So we do have to test our parachute still. So we're going to be building a ship that can do that. But first, let's look for like another mission we could do. What's this one? Get a heat shield. 20,000 to 29,000 at a very high speed. That's quite doable. Well, actually, 2,000 meters a second. I don't know about that. By 20,000 meters?
The radial mount parachute. So this we have to get up to 8,000. Oh no, we did complete our parachute. Nice. Well, that's excellent. So radial parachute, get up to 8,000 meters. And then only be going 90. I don't know about that. Let's go for escape the atmosphere. And maybe try... The radial decoupler is very easy to do. The Thumper solid fuel booster. I don't know if we can buy the Thumper. Let's go see if we can. Because that will definitely get us up in the air. Reduce the heat shield to half and remove the monopropellant from command pod. Oh, cool, dude. I didn't even think like that you could reduce the heat shield sort of value. But that's really neat. Thank you. So here's our Thumper that we could test out. This will definitely get us to space. Maybe not in a good way, but it'll get us there. I think we'd like to get the science, though. Again, the faster you get science, sort of, it builds upon itself, right? And I do apologize for my throat. I did get ill. So I might just go grab some more water and see if that helps somewhat. Science Junior would be excellent. Okay. Do we want all these parts? Nah. Right now we just want the Science Junior. Very expensive, but super important. And we'll learn about more rocketry stuff. So right now we're just trying to get up to space. And let's go ahead and throw our Science Junior on. Let's see what his sort of impact levels are. 6 meters a second. So he has to be on top, essentially. Cool. That's true, yeah. Monopropellant. It's right here, actually. We can get rid of all of it. It is only for RCS thrusters, yes. Now, at some point, you just watch. Might not be today, might not be tomorrow. But at some point, I'm going to put a single, well, like a set of little monopropellant thrusters for here. We're making a satellite or something. And I'm going to completely forget that we... you know, whatever. That's okay, though. So we know this works. We know this gets us up to space. We know it does all the cool stuff. We have one more crew member who hasn't gone up, Zelphus. Well, yeah, you can't SAS, though. Well, good luck. I mean, good luck, buddy. You're gonna need it, unfortunately. Looks good, though. Just because you can't SAS, let's go ahead and throw on the drogue chutes, I think. Gotta remember where they are. I'm so bad for not remembering, like, okay, utility is parachutes. Right, they're not too heavy. Pardon me. I'm gonna throw a pair of them on. Well, this is our science bay, so throw it on there probably. Okay, that looks fine. So if I take all this off, where's our center of mass? Yeah, so that's pretty good. Have that there. Excellent. Alright, here's the Mark IV. Let's launch it. Unfortunately, Zelphus is not a scientist. I wish he was. Now, one of the cool things about career mode is, like, you need so much money all the time. Because we have to, like, upgrade, like, our launch pad so we can handle, like, bigger rockets. We have to upgrade this so we can put more parts on. I want to upgrade, like, the tracking station and mission control so we can sort of, like, plot out courses. But that's all for a little bit from now. Right now, we're just going up. And I'm just going to do a little cheaty thing here. Grab the signs for the launch pad. We're going to do a quick recovery. And then we're just going to launch it again. Just for a little bit of science there. Nothing too major. Still not enough to grab these two guys, but yeah, no. Science nuke the Mark IV, please. What's the difference here? Who knows? Same mass and everything. Cool. Maybe you want to open your parachutes in sequence. Oh, that's a really cool idea, actually. It's a very cool idea. Oh, did I put 3 of these on? Oh, whoops. I only really needed 2. Right now, though, a similar way of doing that, though, Shames, is doing the altitude, which I think will be okay. But let's see how well Zelphus does. Again, we do not have SAS, so expect a curve. Expect him to not be able to handle it. We'll do our best, though. Hold. Hold steady. I'm trying to manually sort of bump this guy around. Okay, hold. Steady. Zelphus, no, you're supposed to be on the controls, not clapping your hands. Zelphus might be a little bit special. That's not good. And that's actually a good idea, Shames. I like that a lot. Let's see. Let's try 0.1 pressure on this one. 0.4 on that one. And 0.6 here. See what that does. Got some materials here. Okay, 20 science. Nice. Excellent. Close this back up. All right. Sort of move ourselves a little bit like this. Decouple that bad boy and prepare for re-entry. Now you'll notice we're not quite as sleek. We're not the little acorn or butt plug, if you prefer, that we used to be. Now sort of a massive science tool. I want to try and level her out and stop her spin. Almost got it. The controls are quite difficult in this game, has to be said. It takes a while to sort of get a feel for what turns your rocket in what direction. That's pretty good. 0.1, 0.3, and 0.5. Yeah, sure, we can try that out. This is what I love about this game, just doing these sciencey bits. Other way. Okay, not too bad, not too bad. Preparing for re-entry. Spinning a little bit. Actually, I think spinning is better or worse. I feel like it's probably not too bad. Oh, you're right, I did actually. Ah, dang. Oh, are we not doing some re-entry fun? I guess we'll deploy all our little parachutes now then. Which one are you? 0.28. Interesting. Okay, that's kind of cool. I assume this is going to be very finicky, like trying to get parachutes to work the same way on the Mun, right? Or any different planet, because it has different like pressures, right? I would love if you could use, like, you know, the barometric pressure scanner like that we have. If we could, like, when you test a planet, like, you could find out what the values are. You know what I mean? I think that would be awesome. So it does slow us down, but it doesn't really kill us, which is nice. One don't have... Well, yeah, that's what I mean, right? It doesn't even have atmosphere, I don't believe. That's kind of cool. So when this catches at about 1,000 meters, it should flip us upwards. There it is. Perfect. Perfect. This is cool, though. It looks cool. And I mean, it's safe. It's going to ensure that our little guys make it... Stop clapping, dude. Like, actually, you're stressing me out. Okay. Let's see if we're in a different area, maybe. Oh, hold up, hold up. Let's jettison the heat shield. Goodbye. Nah, we can get paltry science, and paltry science is fine. Interesting. Well, why is the mystery goo? Different. Who knows? And yeah, we're a lot slower this time. Last time I believe we were about 7 to 6.8 meters a second when we hit the ground. And now we're dropping at about 6.3. Somewhere in that range. Which is nice and tasty. This guy can take a little bit of a pounding. And we're down, we're out, and actually, since we're on the ground, we can EVA here. We can get an EVA report of this new area. The Kerbin's Grasslands. Sure thing. Let's go ahead and board. Can we get a crew report for it? Yeah, minor stuff. Nothing too crazy. But it's more science, and that means bigger rockets and more space. Awesome. 48 science. Holy. Nicely done, Zelphus. We didn't escape the atmosphere, though. We could. We could, for sure. I mean, if we get the thumper, for sure. Let's do it. Pardon me, though, guys. Man, this illness has me all mished up. But I won't be bothering you guys too much longer. Probably another half an hour. This is the one we have to test out, right? Experimental. Ooh. Oh, they give it to you even if you haven't bought it yet. Oh, that's cool. Oh, no, not quite like that game. There you go. We may need more fins on this guy. Maybe that's fine. I kind of feel like... Maybe that's too much finnage, but... How much is that costing me? It's costing me like pennies. I just like to be a little safe, that's all. Maybe I just put them there. I think we're okay for now. So this is no longer the science nuke. This is the, The orbit or bust. And who should we have pilot this? None other than, of course, Fox, our daring pilot. Good luck out there, by the way. Okay. I think we can drop the thrust limit here. Like 75, 74, fine with me. Looks good. Let's do it. See how good or bad this goes, shall we? A learning process. It's so weird. Like, in my mind, I remember how to get to the mun. But it's like, this sort of baby stuff, which is so important. It's all a bit different now. And I kind of like that. We really want to get rovers, actually, so we can drive around. There's a lot of, like, science you can kind of scam by going to all these buildings. We'll check that out at some point. But for right now, Also, this playthrough, I really do want to learn planes. I could never figure out planes for all my years of playing this. So I really do want to figure that out. Let's get our SAS going. Going straight up, Foxy. Oh, look at that. That's a true launch. I love it. It's kind of weird that you can see your reputation and your money and science right here. I don't know how important that is. So 70,000 meters breaches the atmosphere. Well, it's looking good. We may even... I mean, we're not going to try for an orbit. The orbit is the next one up. For that, we will need a liquid fuel engine. But for right now, pretty effective. Can you post a picture link? Absolutely, yeah. I'm one of those people... I know most people are a little... Oh, no, we're nowhere near 70,000. Oh, geez. It's a little toasty. Little toasty. We still might make it. Yeah, I'm one of those people, like, I honestly, like, I believe most people can police themselves, right? Like, you know, you're all adults for the most part. Actually, a lot of people that watch me are either sort of like middle-aged or very young, so maybe not. But 70,000 is happening. What do you think, though, Fox? You just sort of blankly staring. And there it is. At 70,000, we actually get good music. I love it. James, could you tell me what the button is to reset my camera if I go in? Because I want to see what Fox is seeing right now. You know what I mean? Let's learn all about the space. Check it out. Oh, there's no pressure in space. It's almost like it's vacuum. Absolutely. Space. That's right. Did we do our science junior? I don't think so. 22.5 science. My goodness. What are you seeing right now, Fox? Imagine, eh? It's the first time in your life you've seen this. Pixels. Black, unmoving, solid pixels. Maybe we can change that if we rotate a little. Oh my goodness, look at it. What a sight to behold. Universe. And that's where you start panicking. You're like, oh god, we're falling! Oh shit, the dials! Where's my hands? I've lost my hands. Oh, there they are, thank god. It's all bad. Did you reset up your parachutes? I do have the drogue chutes on, yes. The only problem, I just don't know how to get back to space. Like actually looking at the ship itself. V thing. Thank you. I always mess that up. So, Fox, one thing you want to do here, you want to just rotate a titch. Not much. Just get rid of that. It was just holding you back. You know? Like all life's problems. Just get rid of them. Leave them out here. The void. Listen to this music, though. It's so good! It's like the reward for getting out of Kerbin. You stay on Kerbin the whole game and it just sounds like nothing, because there's literally nothing. C is camera, V is view. I think it's the other way around there. For some reason. I don't know why, but C is view and V is camera. At least for me. Your mileage may vary. So I think we kind of want to stick on this blue guy. That's our like re-entry angle. Yeah, you're loving it, Fox, and I don't blame you. Let's get the hell back down to Earth. Is this really my re-entry angle? Way over here. No, that seems very wrong. I no longer trust you, game. I used to. I can get something like this. Alright. Well, hopefully the heat shield withstands the burning It looks pretty good. It's actually maybe a little more straight than I thought it was. Oh, that's, I mean, jeez. Imagine your parents, like, looking up and being like, that's my baby. Burning at 1,000,000 degrees. Or 200 degrees. That's why they call me Mr. Fahrenheit anyway. Retrograde vector relative to... Oops. Okay, we are on 1 times. Alright, we can go ahead and jettison our heat shield now. Get out of here, fool. Uh-oh. Get away from me! And this is how flying saucers were invented. Holy shit, dude! Galactic Frisbee! It's gone! I need to experiment with that more often. Your retrograde vector relative to your surface will be your re-entrance. Okay, cool. Now, when I got into this game, at one point, I really got into like this whole space travel idea, right? I used to know offhand the formula for delta V. Now, I don't know how important that is in this game. I understand delta V is extremely important, but I don't know how important it is now. You know, like, does the game still require me to know this information, or is there an easy way of sort of checking my delta V? Because that's really cool. It is a pretty cool thing. Otherwise, like, I don't mind relearning the stuff. I do love calculating stuff. Heat shield is lighter. Fly up. In reality, you fall down faster. Right, the bowling ball and the feather. Yes. That's right. Like, everything should fall at the... Like this. Oh my goodness. What was that? Probably our engine, right? Crashing. Ah. What a time to be alive. We really should upgrade our Kerbonaut headquarters, the Kerbonaut barracks, whatever, so we can, like, EVA, and we can just stand out in space and launch herself at the sun. That was the heat shield? Oh, okay. Well, true, right, because we had our parachutes going, so he would have dropped a little faster. These are really pretty, actually. I like this. I'm glad we've, like, started experimenting with the drogue chutes. They're going to be pretty useful as time goes on. You can see we're still hitting that 6.2. It's up to about 6.5 now with the science, but it's not too bad. I know that looked bad, but apparently that was just the parachutes exploding. And we lost our goo canister, I think. I don't know why. I don't know why the parachutes exploded like that, but I'll take it. That was kind of really weird, actually. Hey, we completed 2 big contracts. Got a bunch of signs out of it. Oh, man. 109 signs now. We're up to 241, which is excellent because eventually, you can see right now, we can actually only have 30 parts for a vehicle assembly. An upgrade, we don't even have the money for it, but eventually it's going to be very important to get up to 255 because like, how many parts are we doing right now, right? Like, this is a 16 part already, and we're not quite able to reach, like, orbital levels. We are going to need more fuel. But we can probably orbit and get to the Mun with 30 parts, maybe. Mun might be a bit of a stretch. I don't know how good I am. I'm also going to want to upgrade this as well. And these feel like they're very expensive to upgrade. And I definitely want to can perform EVAs. There's more science in that. More active Kerbals is excellent. I don't really need that. Let's check this out, because I've never really done it. Fundraising campaign. So 5% of reputation gains. You get $1,000 for each unit of reputation. Okay, that's kind of cool, actually. Maybe we do like 10%? Is that's kind of neat. Money is definitely going to be a big problem for us. So 10%, we're going to spend 11 of our reputation right now, and then 10% it's taken away and gives us a little bit of money. Maybe we even like commit a little higher to this. That's gonna drop like our current reputation down. Which the thing is, I think what reputation does is you get better contracts out of it. Yeah, let's go 11%. This is cool. I've never used this before, but we are playing on a pretty hard difficulty, so money is super a problem right now. Okay, so orbit Kerbin. Yeah, we don't have planes working yet. Tons of money for this one though. We have to fly to the atmosphere, accelerate parallel with the surface until you're in a stable orbit. I think a stable orbit requires 80,000, right? It could be doable. Just need a liquid fuel engine on. Sure. Well, eventually we want to do that one for sure. And I really would like to... I mean, there's a lot of money for testing this stuff out, actually. Like, all we have to do here... splash down and then test a decoupler. That's not too bad. Did we reach these levels? We were going quite quick. I don't know if we were going like 1,900 meters a second at 20,000 altitude though. Quite a bit of cash for that though. Bring a VIP on a high G adventure. Have him pass out from G-forces. That's really cool. Oh, that's such a funny one. You get like nothing for it. But you lose reputation for taking it. Or wait, what? 16? Oh, no, I see. The -2 is how much I'm losing to the, to this, the fundraising. Okay, cool. That's really neat. Let's look at science. Oh, shit. What did I just cancel? Because, like, you lose stuff for declining them. Some reputation, I think. Well, as long as I didn't do... Oops. I wanted to close the screen, and I clicked the X button. My dang. My brain farted. It's not ideal. Hopefully it wasn't an easy one. But, let's look at research, though. Got plenty to do here. Sometimes you need to right-click a run test, and sometimes you need to test by staging sequence. Oh. So, I mean, we're going to need this, right? We're going to need the thumper to get up. We used it for a test run, but yeah. We're actually going to need that to reach Uderspoos. So what do we got here? Better fuel tanks, Terrier engines. Not too bad, actually. Terrier is really useful. So you want like sort of like a lower powered, high efficiency engine for outer space because there's, you know, you don't have to deal with gravity and all this crap. I mean, you kind of do, but not really. So that's interesting. Hey, Ryatsu, what's up, my man? We're KSPing bet your ass. A crew cabin where we can take 2 people. Nice. It's tempting. Stability. The radial decoupler is really good. For sure. Got 71 buckaroos. Sadly, can't learn about rover legs. Miniaturization, don't really care about that too much. If you're going to space, it's nice to have the solar energy panels. You been playing this yourself? Oh, hell yeah. I think we might grab the Terrier here. I think so. I'm not really sure we need any of this other stuff right now. I mean, this would be cool to get planes, right? But... And that's actually an interesting point you bring up there, Shames, with like the window. Because in real life, that's how it works, right? They wait for a specific period of time where they can launch the rocket to easily sort of slingshot towards a planet. Is it that important in Kerbal Space Program? Like, are you going to end up with situations where you're like, oh, I can't launch for like 2 weeks? You know? This kind of sucks. But I think, yeah, we'll grab this stuff here. Advanced Rocketing. 10,000? Yeah, we can afford that. A lot of that is quite useful. So let's plan... We took our orbit mission, right? Let's plan to do that. Okay. So who are we going to have drive it, though? That's the big question. Foxy again? Maybe. We'll take Origami. Foxy's proven herself. She's got to orbit. I mean, it didn't really get too much of anywhere, but that's okay. So we got our Thumper here. We're gonna need a whole nother set of delicious fuel. What is this? Fuel adapter. Probably just like a little guy like this. We get a Terrier. Because this should carry us high enough with just the Thumper. A decoupler here. Action. The thrust limiter is on 74. I think that's fine. I mean, if this is our first orbit, should it just be a probe? You know what I mean? I kind of feel like it should. For safety's sake. But I don't have any probe. Oh no, I got this guy. Stay Putnik. The only problem with the Stay Putnik is we don't have any of the cool stuff. We don't have like thermal or solar panels and stuff. Alright, we'll just go straight up and then we'll eventually set a satellite up, hopefully soon. Let's see, we have our decouple. Okay, sure. This is a mess. I don't know what happened here. Engine, check. Decouple, check. Engine, check. Decouple. I know I could put these in the same, but I'm not going to. And we got our chutes. Seems pretty good to me. We may need some smaller rockets here. Like for a little bit of extra boost in the beginning. I need my symmetry on. Seems okay. I think we're good. We're good. So what do we call this? The we already know we can reach orbit. Why don't we call it? Shames has been here for a bit. Shames, I'm sorry, your name is just too boring. We're gonna do the Ryatsu orbiter. I think we'll probably make Shames one of our Kerbals. Just because it sounds like a name, it doesn't sound like Ryatsu sounds like super cool. It's like some sort of like Japanese car. Oh my! Yeah. I wish it was easier to rename stuff in Kerbal Space Program. I do go through and change names in the text file, but it does take a while. It's just a pain. I feel like there should be a super cool mod for that. Make Shames a Ooh. A lander. Yeah, I could see that. Alright. I mean, this doesn't look straight to me, even. Am I wrong here? This looks very not straight. Well, off we go. Best you can. Could be that we have to take off our thrust limiting. We'll see how high we get, though. I'm still not sold this is going straight. This says it's a little straight. I don't know. How you doing there, Origami? Looking good? Yep. Can't see crap, so like if this is all you can see, how do you know if you're doing a good job? You know, piling? Who knows? Yeah, we're not really going anywhere near fast enough. We could do some radial decoupling and just throw like 2 of these on. I think 3's a bit overkill. Yeah, that's definitely what we're gonna have to do. Instruments over sight. Well, that's true, yeah. It still might be nice to be able to look out the window and be like, oh, that's the ground. Maybe this is bad. We have the radial decoupler, right? Yes. Yeah, I think we're just gonna put... Why 3, though? Just 2. Why does it want to do 3? Is it because I have 3 of these on? Yeah, that's what it was. Interesting. Seems good to me. 2 thumpers on. Since we have 2 of them, I think we can go ahead and just limit this down to sort of 80. I don't know if we have the nose cones, unfortunately. Aerodynamics. Oh, we do. Perfect. Is this good? It's fine. Get some little fins. This looks good. Alright, this is the new Ryatsu orbiter. You check your craft is too heavy. Oh, fuck off. No. Sorry, James. Give me 2 seconds on that. Okay. So we have designing a rocket. Cool. Center of lift for center of mass. By building so the center of lift is behind the center of mass, the aerodynamic forces on the rocket keep it stable. Oh. Neato. Let's go ahead and save that guy to the old desktop. Pretty useful stuff, thank you. Well, we'll check that out once we upgrade this guy. Thankfully, we can afford it. Up to 140 tons. What a jump! Hopefully it'll be a bit more straight now as well. So let's see, how are we doing for that anyway? So here's our center of mass. Center of thrust. And that's good, right? We did good. Now this changes though when the stage is done. But I'm not sure that matters because we'll be in space. Nice, I'm happy with it. And I don't think we need the launch stabilizers, if you guys know what I'm talking about. Sort of the big pole with a little grabby hand to make sure you don't fall over. I think we're okay. Look at this guy. What a beast. What a beast. Okay, our stage is good? Yes, yes, yes. Yep, looks fine to me. Origami, SAS, and go, buddy. You have the little wrench icon bottom. Can you click it? Oh. I assume you meant back in the thing. Well, we'll check it out afterwards. This looks good, though. We've reached our 200 meters, and we're about halfway. It's just kind of what you want, 200 meters a second. Atmosphere's thinning out. In the assembly hall? Yeah, for sure. I mean, Twitch always has like that 30-second, sometimes a minute delay. All depends. So my brain's always trying to think of what someone would have said like a minute ago. Okay. And this guy a little bit here. The touch. I have a delay of 11.56. Oh, I see. That's a good idea, Ryatsu. Nice. Okay, so we should have detached once our engines ran out. Very clever, actually. Yeah, okay. I can dig it, I can dig it. That said, what is this? 108? That's perfect. We're fine. But it's not too bad. We're actually okay. Just looking for my... Where is he? Is that the sim? No. Which way are we going? We're traveling this way or something? I want to look towards the apoapsis thingy. Something like that. Just meant ditch him. No, that makes a lot of sense, dude. Thank you. Prograde's always 90 degrees? Oh, that's handy. Gotta wait till we get a little further here. He's a clapper, too. Yeah, well, we got a lot of clappers. Just the way she goes. Start our burn soon. So, Fox, this is like the highest point of our ascent. Of our little mini orbit. So what we're going to do is, when we reach our highest point, or at least get close to it, we're going to start, like, flying towards it, you know what I mean? Like, launch our little engine and choo! So what we do is, the further away you are from the planet, the more fuel efficient it is. What it's going to do is it's going to go ahead and stretch this guy out and eventually make a nice full circle. Now, the Terrier is nice and fuel efficient. We might not be far enough out to get the full benefit of it. And you can see here, because it doesn't burn too fast, I should have actually been doing this sooner. But that's okay. Should be burning prograde as soon as you hit space if you're using boosters. Alright. Do that in mind, thank you. All stuff we learned. So again, I should have really fired it back here. That's alright. We're not actually going to get a full orbit, I don't think, this time. But that's okay, because we can go ahead and just revert the flight. Because we didn't lose too much. And that was just, you know, mechanical error on the part of the person in charge. That's me. I made mistakes. It happens. But we could definitely do it this time. So, all my stages are good. Everything's fine. Origami's happy. I got that SAS going. Jeez. Fuel efficient is not correct. You need less fuel to stabilize the orbit because so far you can be slower. Use the fuel to reach that altitude. I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that, Shames. I'm sure you're right, though. Always happy to admit to my ignorance if it comes to that. But what I mean is the Terrier is sort of more fuel efficient because it burns less fuel than per like meters a second. You know, burns less per acceleration, I suppose. Up we go. And get out of here. Okay, let's make our way to the 90 here. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, alright. Oh, calm down there, Origami. Calm down. There you go, buddy. Okay, so we should be going a lot faster this time. Because we've ditched all that extra mass. All that horrible drag. And it looks like our apoapsis is about the same though, so it didn't do a whole lot. But, you know, who knows. It could be we just need more fuel for this stage, which is fine. That's something we can go ahead and add. Yeah. We're on our apoapsis, give or take. Well, our prograde, sorry. And we'll start burning now. Or not. can't control it from this screen yet, fortunately. Fuel flow and atomization efficiency in a vacuum for that little terrier. So should we be turning sooner then, when we have the big rockets, like the big boosters? Should we be turning before we reach the atmosphere, out of the atmosphere? So you start with a 2 to 3 degree angle right after launch, so 97% of your thrust used to get up and 3% to go forward. Slowly change your values by angle to 45 degree and 90 degrees. I mean, that makes a lot of sense, actually. Totally down with that. I'll have to give it a go. I think we just do not have enough fuel at this stage in the game. Hard to say, though. Hard to say. If we made it further up, we would have enough fuel. And that would be an easy fix by just adding another set of boosters. Oh, I love the music out here. It's so calming. Yeah, so that's okay. Because right now, like, it'd be really easy for me to re-land. So let's just go ahead and go back to vehicle assembly. Fly a parabola instead of digital up, forward. Right, like a zzzz. I can dig it. Yeah, let's just go ahead and we grab this guy. It's on 3. Okay. So this is actually technically the Mark II. We've made some changes. Oh shit. Leave it to me. Accidentally clicked off the screen. I do it 100 times a night. That's the only problem with playing games windowed. I know I should get a second monitor at some point, but you know, life's hard and you always have too much money to spend on a lot of stuff, so I kind of want to have like a little antenna right here. Maybe it'll burn off, but like I think that's cute. And I think it makes a lot of sense. Like you want to have communication between you and the ground. So let's do it. Will that screw us over? Maybe. It does make a lot of sense. The only issue we have right now is like origami's not quite as strong at turning, really. Cause I can't. Oh, that's perfect. Perfect. Got a little bit of an angle here. Try and hold that the best you can, origami. We'll slowly see if we can add to it. Now you see I've got a bit of a spin going on, which is not ideal. Okay. No, this is potentially doable. I think the spin is going to harm us more than anything else, but that's okay. We'll see how far we get like this. Simply reduce one thruster by 1%. You have an automatic lean to the side. Whoa, that is smart. Super cool. I love that idea. Gonna go too fast in the thick atmosphere. Might explode. Who knows? That's right. Stay tuned on next episode of Dragon Ball Z. No, we're fine. If there's one thing I know how to do, it's blow up rockets. Don't worry about that. Everything's always gonna be okay. So because I know how to blow up rockets, I know when I'm gonna blow up rockets. I know heat. Hold that 5-degree angle too long. I was actually trying that whole time to move it. I think I need more fins or something. Oh, this is cool. The radial decouplers never actually used to have these little nipples. So now I can get milk from my rockets if I need, which is handy. But it's also like neat to see like where they were. I like that. There we go. We got a much better apoapsis. Get a little higher up and then start burning. That's good. So we need to unlock like a reaction wheel, right? Which is like a giant spinning, gyrating wheel that allows you like torque and stuff like that, right? Never actually looked into what those are in real life, but they sound really cool. Oh, this is looking a little better. Okay, well, we'll have to see where we unlock that. But thank you, though, guys. I love this. I love talking science. I love learning things. It's one of my favorite things. It's I've had a lot of jobs in my life, and I burn out on them because I want to constantly, which is sort of unfortunate. I'm very thankful right now. Like, I'm in a completely different line of work than I have been for the last, like, 10 years. So I'm able to, like, sit down and go, oh, cool. All these new bits of information coming my way. Electrical generation. Yeah, we're going to need our solar panels. And this is looking good. You're doing it, Origami. Just keep clapping, buddy. Screw the haters, man. Who needs them? What's the button to stop this? What's throttled down? What's X, apparently. Turns out. Just wanted to know before we got too bad here, because I do want a little bit of fuel so we can land. Might be asking too much. We might have to rescue him. Oh, perfect. That's good. That's good. Oh, not auto camera, please. Yeah, perfect. I think 80,000 is technically stable. I believe at 80,000-ish, they stopped getting pulled in. For control didn't seem to work, but we did it. How do you feel, little guy? Oh, 70,000? Thank you. How does it feel? I wish I could see your face from there. I can see it there, but it just looks like you took a picture and you just stuck it to the camera. You're not actually in the plane at all. You're probably actually using the washroom. Fair enough. You know, that's reasonable. Let's see if we can get some science stuff. Yeah, we've already got most of it, but that's okay. Nothing wrong with just checking. Oh yeah, we never actually brought the mystery goo information back, so... Now, here's the fun part. Click the button and get a cutaway view of the command capsule. Oh, really cool. When they had this, that's awesome. I love that. Thank you. What does this one do then? Remove slot. I don't want to push that. Super cool. Oh, that's how you speed things up. Oh, okay, cool. So we are actually going to have to spin all the way back around to our apoapsis again. Because I don't think we have enough fuel to shrink it at the periapsis. That's okay, it doesn't take that much time to get all the way around. What does the planet look like? It's gorgeous. A wonderful time to be alive. I want to get a plane and like fly to all these places. It looks cool. I wonder if there's like hidden stuff to find. Kind of look like Canada for a second there. Yeah, I just found that out actually. So let's go ahead and do a retrograde burn. I'm pretty sure it's called, which is sort of burning opposite the apoapsis, or rather opposite to your orbit. I suppose is a better way of putting it, right? And that should shrink our periapsis here, and then we can go ahead and start thinking about landing. But before we do that, save our game here. Can we go to the Space Center? Got that right, fam. Oh, feels good. Feels good. Never know, I might be the next physicist. Except I can't afford school, so I won't be. Don't worry about it, kids. Can we upgrade this? We could. That's a lot of our money. I kind of want to do this so we can perform an EVA. What do you think? Unless you're in reverse orbit? Well, hey. Whoa now. Careful there. Don't get too crazy on me. We can get more Kerbals if we do this, which is, you know, awesome. We can place flags. Cool. Form EVAs. I know, though, we're going to need the vehicle assembly upgrade at some point. We do not have anywhere near the money for that. And I think this is probably going to be... This is going to be our killer, right? So, maybe not. I was going to upgrade Origami and do an EVA with them, but... Surface samples? You can get surface samples? Yeah, but not in Kerbin, right? And I think we're going to need... Hang on, how many parts is this? Yeah, we're already on 30 parts. And we can't really get to the Mun with this. Although, if we got better engines and stuff, maybe. Oh. Yeah, we could check contracts up here. Nah, nothing right now. Explore Kerbin. You left enough fuel in the tanks to return from orbit, right? Yeah. Wait. Is that it? All they're telling me is to return Kerbin from orbit. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's cool. Oh my god, I'm really glad we went there. There's a bunch of cash coming our way. Fly this bad boy. Sadly, we passed the apoapsis. That's okay, we're still pretty close, you know what I mean? Like, it's not the end of the world. Yeah. And this is like a whole new area we've never landed in before. So that's kind of neat. And get ready for... Is it better to have... Hang on. Is it better to have a straight descent? Or is it better to have, like, an angle? It's better to be, like, slower, right? Or should I have it more like a straight up and down? Like, in my mind, it makes more sense to go like this. Like stretch it like more horizontal speed. I think that makes sense. So we can just do a little bit of this. Perfect. This is a pretty chill path. Spin around. And goodbye, little buddy. Wish you luck in your endeavors. Speed increased by gravity of Kerbin, so there's no air in space that compensate that, so it's better to have more time in the air to brake. Okay, cool. More elongated the trajectory, the smoother the reentry. Makes a lot of sense. Dig it? Whoa! Hold the phone. Hold the phone real quick. Origami, get in position here, bud. Something like this, I think. Oh, we're going in. It's gonna be toasty. Look at you. You little crazy fool. What are you thinking right now? Nothing. You're shitting your pants because you're going in backwards. That's fair. That's fair. If I was falling down at this speed backwards, I would also be quite scared. I know it's dangerous to do the physics time warp, but we're doing it anyway. What does this little line mean? Oh, is that my communication range? So it's saying like right now, oh! Oh, that's fine. I think it's saying right now like we can't communicate with Kirby. Oh god. I mean, that's about my reaction, yeah. My ass is toasty. Yeah, just put your head between your legs, bud. Hold on tight. So that is my communication link. Very cool. Very cool. Can't wait to set up satellites. I did choose the difficulty option to like I have to have like satellites and stuff. 'cause I think that's really neat. Well, thanks for being here, guys, though. I learned quite a bit today. Uh-oh. We'll see if we can trick it to still have the heat shield on the bottom. Origami, you just gotta... You gotta spin that heat shield... No! We'll never get that goo researched. Oh, we lost our drogue chutes, too. Are communication relays not satellites? Like, do you not put them around in orbit? Origami, you know what to do. Extend the antenna. Deployment would destroy part. Oh, shit. Going hot, my friend. Is it hot in here, or is it me, Kappa? Hey, Origami. Yeah, I want this antenna, dude. Radio for help. Oh, no. Pin that there. Oh, we're not quite far enough in the atmosphere yet. Falling, but we're falling, like, slow. We're actually losing speed as we fall. It's probably because of the horizontal nature of our descent. Nice. If you deploy it, like, yeah. A little bit sooner. Getting a bit sketched out. Oh, God. Here goes all that science. Nice! Extend the antenna. Perfect. HQ, we're coming in hot. This is real bad. Real bad. Real bad, alright? We got issues. So what was it that died there? It was a science thing, right? Interesting. I was probably coming in a little too sideways, I guess. Or like, I mean, I positioned my craft a little too sideways. I probably need to aim it down more. But it's okay, learning process. How are you looking there? Yeah? Yeah, this is your life now, man. What do you think? It's not great. You know? Could be a lot better. But you're gonna live. It's the main thing. Sense capsule was exposed to the re-entry heating. Totes got hot and went boom. Yeah, that was really funny though, how like it exploded and then the I don't know, the storage container and the heat shield were like stuck on the bottom because we were traveling like kind of the same speed, and then we were like desperately trying to like rotate it to like keep those on the bottom. That was a lot of fun. This looks like a nice slow descent. I wish there was a faster way to like descend, because my goodness, it takes forever. But that's okay. Origami didn't die. I was totally prepared to just watch him disappear. He survived. Too fast, too deep. Well, I mean, that's my motto. I'm all about going too fast, too deep. You know, get in, get wet, and get out. Something like that. I think that was my motto in XCOM. Terror from the deep. How are we doing, Mr. Origami? Like, what is, like, from here, it still looks like you're in space. But in reality, I mean, is that our altimeter? Radar altitude. Oh, yeah, okay. So you have an idea that you're about to hit the ground. That's kind of cool. Well, soon, little buddy. So is sea level 0? One would assume. And we lived! Easy! Whew! 25-kilometer re-entry. I'm gonna have to write all that down. But thank you. Nice. Well, we still got 9 science from it, so that's good. And some of our stuff was, refunded. Excellent. Wait, did it say origami got some XP? The thing is, so last time I played the game, I had a lot of mods, but the mods broke my KSP because of all the updates, and I'm probably playing with like some old mods, right? So I just kind of gave it up. You know what I mean? I just went back to, we're just going to do vanilla. We're going to learn all these tons of new mechanics. I think some of the mods are probably built into the game now, like, you know what I mean? So that's okay. Yeah, Origami's a level 1 pilot now. Awesome. He got an orbit around Kerbin. So now I can tell him to hold on prograde or retrograde. That's really useful. Full vessel control without comnet access. Neat. And look, we got tons of cash. We can almost upgrade the vehicle assembly bay, which, again, I think we're going to need to land on the Mun. Well, this is just explore it. All we have to do is fly by. Advance of 78,000. Holy shit, look at all that money. Well, there's all our cash. We're probably going to go for this, but that'll be tomorrow, guys. Thanks for joining me. This is the longest I've sat down. 2 hours. 2 hours. Baby. Feels good. For those that don't know, I sustained a wonderful, wonderful back injury about 2 weeks ago. And it's been fun. Either way, I'm off to work. I work really early. I'll be back tomorrow, and then tomorrow night, hopefully more KSP, because I'm having a ton of fun with it. And I can't wait to get back on that Mun. I've been there once. I want to reclaim that, you know what I mean? Engineers of Bee's Knees? Okay, interesting. We'll have to see what they add. I thought they were useless, actually, like in previous versions. Maybe you want to see my launch? Yeah, for sure. Are you going to stream it, or do you have like a video? Delta V readouts, harvest all its resources. I mean, I'm liking the sound of that. But anyway, yeah, I'm taking off though. Gonna head to bed. If you are streaming it soon, Shame. Okay, cool. Well, give me 5 minutes, because I'm gonna get off here, do some stretches so I can lay down, and then I'll sort of hop in bed with my phone and get Twitch open so I can go ahead and watch that. Either way, take it easy, folks, and I'll see you tomorrow.